Learn how to become a hair boss with mastermind courses and launch your very own hair extension business.
Yes, absolutely. Peace and blessings. I definitely want to welcome you all back for another great episode. You know my name, celebrity interviewer. I said it, and this is the show. And I have the greatest opportunity to be able to bring you all some tremendous and just another great interviews. From people that's building here in the community, along with people here in the entertainment industry. And the young lady to my right, let's see if I get it right. Maybe to my left, whatever side of the world you on. You know what I mean? We actually have the founder and director executive director, let's get that right, of BCAI, which actually stands for Breaking Chains and Advancing and Increasing of Cultural Arts and Humanities dance instructor and coach, my friend Angelique Rački. Welcome to the show, Queen. Peace and salute to everything you've been doing. I'm really proud of you.
Thank you. Seriously, thank you, because you've definitely been seeing it for some years, so I definitely appreciate all of it.
Yeah, you really been doing your thing. I'm very proud of you. Like I say, I like to just jump right into it because a lot of people are very curious of, how did you start this? How did you actually come up with it? And, why, you would like to wanted to involve your company, associated with hip hop, the whole culture of it. I love, what you're doing and what you've been doing. I also want to welcome everyone that's watching live today, whether you're watching from our YouTube. If you have not subscribed, it's Isaidit Management. Or you may be watching from our Facebook, or even we're live here on Instagram as well. And we're on Urban Grind TV. So shout out to Wally too. So Angelique, I always like to start from the beginning, with speaking about, how someone created their legacy and got to the point that they're in their life right now when it comes to success. So if I may ask, where originally did you grow up that, started all of this?
I grew up here in Bloomington Normal. In this lifetime, I grew up in Bloomington Normal, right here. I've been here my entire life, minus 2 years. I was in South Carolina. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's awesome. So you what made you stay there though? All these years.
You're funny. So Bloomington Normal is it's only like 120 people total with the Twin Cities, and if you grew up here, it's very, very small. It's very, very small. Everybody knows you, and you get entangled in a lot of things. Even things that you didn't even realize you were entangled in. It's like you hear stories about yourself, and you're like, that's extremely fascinating. I wasn't there, but it's good. It's glad that you thought I was there. So it's just fun that you get to hear stories about yourself randomly. Yeah, so I've been here this long. I would say, so BCAI is now 9 years old, 9.5 from concept, and that's why I'm here right now. Otherwise, it's very, very safe to say that I was actually supposed to go. So 2011 is when I got my associates, and I was gonna go down to Savannah College of Art and Design for architecture. So that was my passion. It has been since I was a kid. Architecture, and they have a branch of that called historic preservation, and I was gonna go with that because I like to modernize but still maintain the authenticity. And so yeah, that didn't happen because after I went to the college visit, I came home, and for some reason there was no instinct and no pull to find the job or the place to live. And then after a few months, so I did that in August with the college visit, and after a couple months, this entity just like burst in my imagination. It's like, well, what if you just start this? And then it kind of snowballed from there. It dominoed from there. So the BCAI came to me, the name came to me. The name was already in existence in I came here with it. I had to have come here with it. Like, this is part of my contract for this lifetime, because it just came to me, all of it, the acronym, what it was going to stand for, what it was going to be. I started with what I knew, which was dance, but I knew that it was going to be more than dance. So that's why it started as BCAI School of Arts. Yeah, and now it's BCAI Cultural Arts and Humanities, breaking chains, advancing increase. So, and I'll get into that later when you ask about it, but yeah, that's why I'm still here now.
Well, you definitely just fast forwarded like many years. But we missed some gaps in the legacy of the building of this legacy that you have with this academy that you have built, you know what I mean? And I'm so, again, grateful to have you here live with us today. So first, let me ask you this: dancing. Where did the dance come from? Who taught you how to dance? Why dancing? Were you a singer as well? Where did this entertainment artistic tea come from when it comes to Miss Younger Angelique?
Younger Angelique was a tomboy. My mom put me in dance. And I had the place I went. So this town, I'm gonna make sure I word things. This town is predominantly very white. So I was raised very white, and so you got choices of like jazz and ballet, and I was like the extent of it. There was no hip hop classes when I was growing up. That wasn't a thing, and it wasn't until I took gymnastics. I took jazz, and then I went from there. I was into basketball, football, sports, trees, loved to climb trees, loved being outside, just a major tomboy. I was like the kids in my neighborhood, all we did was ride bikes and crash and try new tricks and anything and everything. So that was my childhood. And then it wasn't until honestly my mid-20s when I actually got into dance. I'm not one of those coaches or people that teach dance nowadays that have been doing it since they were 3. I don't have that part of my legacy. I had just started, like literally in my late 20s, probably my mid to late 20s. I don't remember the year, but that's when I started dancing. I don't know anybody in this interview knows the name Byron Reynolds, but he was teaching here in town, and he has a very unique style, and he teaches a very authentic. He does popping, he does locking, he does. He keeps it very, very authentic with his style, and he has a focus on freestyling as well. And so like after being with him in that setting, like out of nowhere, it just choreography, I could freestyle, and I never thought I could. And then, yeah, like it was over with from there. So I definitely credit him for that part of the unlocking. So.
Okay. So he unlocked, your confidence per se.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, to an extent. Yeah. Because I mean, it's just like with martial arts. Like once you know how to defend yourself, you tend to not be scared of very much ever. But when you don't really know, when you're not prepared and you don't really know how to defend yourself against anything, like that's when the fears come in. Right. And so, yeah, confidence comes from the more you know. And so once you realize that you can do this and you have a gift for it, then confidence is just, it's like a byproduct.
Right. And it's great that you're doing for the kids what that gentleman did for you, which is unlocking their confidence and helping them with their self-esteem, and just helping them to believe and show them that, again, anything is possible through the acronym I am. Now, why did you decide to go with the I am?
So it's not an acronym.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Nope, you're good. So it's not an acronym. It's not like the I and the A and the I M doesn't stand for anything. It's I am in itself is. So we're gonna get real metaphysical.
Go for it.
I am is even in the Bible, I am is the name of God. And we every single day are creating every single reality around us. So our reality, we are creating it based off of our belief system about ourselves and about the world around us. We are creating exactly what is around us. So we're manifesting and we're attracting to us situations that are based off of our belief system. And the I am is so powerful because every single thing after that matters. It sets the stage for the next stage. And so when you say I am, and you say like I can't, or like you just have to be very, very cautious of that. I am is a statement of presence. It is taking up space. It is a statement that says I am taking all of me and I am going to create the world that I came to create. And that is power. So in the training that we do, in the space that we've provided here, when you give people space, freedom, like a protected space to access themselves, where they feel safe enough to access themselves, everything starts to explode after that. Hence the advancing increase part of our name. So breaking chains, advancing increase. A significant amount of the chains that, like, if not all of them, were given to us through programming, through the way we were raised, through the community we grew up in, through media, through every single thing. And those can either be chains or they can be wings. And we don't, and here, we're not here to fix anybody. What we do is we give you a protected space. We give you mentors, representational mentors, because that's everything. And we meet you where you are. We give you the space, and they tend to teach each other. They tend to grow each other. So us as the teachers and mentors, the adults, we tend to end up learning more from them than they do from us, it seems. And well, they might disagree, but we know that we're learning a substantial amount from them. So the I am is that declaration, that mental acknowledgement that I am God. I have the God force within me to create everything, that the energy that creates worlds, the energy that sustains and that protects, like that's all us. You know what I'm saying? We have that capability. And as soon as you take that authority away from some, like this daddy image in the sky, like, and you take authority over the things, then everything starts to change. Once you realize that you really, things aren't happening to you, like you get to play with this, and it's a very, very powerful thing. And so, yeah, giving them that space, that I am starts to come out. That I am is that creation energy. So.
Absolutely. I think you put that very well. You know what I mean? I don't know if I could explain it even better myself. You know what I mean? I totally agree to utilizing, you know what I mean, that term I am, because of the power that it holds, you know what I mean? When I started to manifest my destiny, you know what I mean, I definitely started with the I am, and I really embraced that myself, you know what I mean? So I was just curious to know, you know, why did you decide to use it as well, and if you knew about the power and knowledge that it contained. So I'm glad that you do, and you know, you've really been taking off. How long have you been in business now? What is that? 7 years?
9
9.
years.
That's incredible.
Well,
9 years.
yeah, technically 9.5, but like the document says 9.
9. Okay, 9. That's great. 9 years. You know what I mean? Because anytime a business, you know, the average business, they say if you can go over 3 years, you know, you can stay in business forever. So you know, you've tripled that. So that's a good
It's
thing.
not going
That's a good
anywhere. We are not going anywhere.
thing. Right now, who was your first student?
Oh my God. I remember Destiny. I would say Destiny, to be honest. Destiny, her last name is escaping me, but Destiny is the one that comes to mind. She and Lily and Jayana. Yeah, Destiny, Lily, and Jayana, I would say. Like I'm there's probably more, but I would say those 3 for sure. Yeah.
Okay. And so how did you start it off, you know, with your school? I mean, so you know, just named like 4 people. So did you start off with, you know, a regular, like you was working with 3 or 4 young people, you know what I'm saying, children?
So
Is that how it
actually,
started?
we actually had a really good start. Like people, it's like people were waiting for us to open.
Okay.
And yeah, we had we probably had a good, I don't know, like a good 5 to 10 students when we started. And yeah, we had, I want to say we had a hip hop class, a praise dance class, and maybe lyrical, I want to say, because the way that I would teach when I was doing praise dance, the way I would teach it was we were using like the more powerful, like gospel, like the more like the gospel hip hop, and the really powerful gospel music with like a lot of bass and instruments. And so there would be a lot of emotion that I would be able to put into the dance, because my go-to style and genre is lyrical hip hop. So that was really easy. But yeah, so we started with probably like 5 to 10 students, and then built from there. And after like a semester, we, like at the end of the first semester that we had 20 some students just for dance. So yeah.
That's beautiful. Beautiful way, a powerful way to start. Um, so when it comes to hip hop, how was you influenced by hip hop? Let's just jump right into this, Angelique, because you recognize, I'm sorry, you acknowledge that, you know, you grew up in a predominantly, you know, white town, white area, you know what I mean, where you wasn't around too many African Americans, blacks, anything like that. So how did you become so familiar with, you know, some of our history, and what made you, you know, inspired to even want to learn more about me and my history?
So in order for me to make sense on that part, I'm going to take it a few years behind that. So growing up, the way that my brain operates, so I'm very hyper intelligent, but I'm also very, ADHD is the best way because everyone can recognize the term. So I grew up in the age where it was looked at as a straight up disorder versus a personality type and a way to navigate the world. And so having that and being expected to behave and be better instead of seeing me and understanding me and then communicating to me based off of how I am, I was made to change to fit your system and change to fit your comfortability levels of how you teach and what you need to be a better teacher. I'm supposed to do that as a 7, 8-year-old. I was supposed to make your life easier, to teach me better. And so I was medicated. I was constantly in trouble, always in the principal's office. Yeah, I mean, so it's actually really not that hard to believe when you know the things the uprisings I do in this community. So, so growing up, I had a distinct, I don't know if I would use the word hatred for myself, but like definitely somewhere along those lines of not really, because nothing around me made sense. Nobody around me was like me. Nobody was able to understand me. Nobody got down on my level and spoke to me as if I was relevant, because I was the one that didn't fit into anything that was needed to fit into in schools and in the family and everything. I was definitely the black sheep. And so, like fast forward, like I spent my childhood and my preteens, at least 2 decades, really trying to find a place that felt right, that felt like home, that felt like, that made sense, because nothing around me made sense. White America didn't make sense to me. It just didn't. I did my best to fit in. I did my best to get the attention that I needed, and any type of acknowledgement that I could get. And then about 11 years old, I started getting a tiny, because I was very, very sheltered, very, very strict parents. So I got a little bit of freedom to be able to go up and down the block on my bike. And I ended up meeting the neighborhood kids, which were very melanated. And I'm obsessed with them. I've loved them ever since I've met them. We are still extremely close. And all we did was ride bikes all day. But it was like the first thing that made sense to me. It was the first thing that felt like home. It was the first interactions that I had where I felt real. And I felt like I had a right to exist. And it was that simple. It was just like, and ever since then, it was okay for me to acknowledge that I don't necessarily fit in with white America. And of course, in that's when I really started picking up more of the hip hop music, more. I think at that time it was like Lil Wayne and of course Tupac, and it's a whole bunch of stuff. And so I had my friends in the neighborhood, and that was my world, was that. And so in that's where the love for, because the music of hip hop is very, very, it's metaphysical. It's very, very different. It's not like just like some symbols and stuff. Like it's energy. It's that creation life force. That's what it feels like. If you know how to listen to music and you can like connect to it, that's what it is. That's what it feels like. And it makes you feel like you're home. Like if you put some headphones in, it feels like home. It just feels like nothing matters. It's an entire meditation, whether it's Ice Cube or Jeezy or Mortal Technique or literally any. It's just home. It's an entire meditation experience just to have that when everything around you that you're forced to interact with makes absolutely no sense. And it's very, very obvious that the youth that's their home, that's their culture, that's their identity. And so to not acknowledge that and to not be a part of that does them a complete disservice, 100% disservice. So while I cannot be physically representational, I can make a space for you that you feel so safe in and heard and understood, that like the experience can almost be spiritually delicious. Like it's like a freedom, it's a liberation. And that's what hip hop represents. It is an entire culture. Like it's not music, it's not dance, it's all the things. It's an entire culture, it's a way of life. And so, yeah, I could literally talk about hip hop for hours. So I'm gonna stop now.
Hey, I love it. You know what I mean? I appreciate your transparency, Angelique, you know what I mean, about, you know what I mean, why and how you became comfortable in the more melanated, like you say, community. You know what I mean? I love it though, you know what I mean? And definitely have a lot of love for you, and appreciation, respect for anyone that is not African American but chooses to support our culture and support our history and things that we've been through, and the genocide that we have suffered from, you know, going all the way back to ancestry, you know what I mean? And, you know, just to have you aboard to just and support, you know what I mean? And to just show love, and, you know, you work with so many Black people as in sincerity, you know what I mean? I just want you to know that, you know, on behalf of all of us, you know what I mean? We love you, we appreciate you, and everyone like yourself who sincerely, you know, is down for the cause and just helping to bring this community back as one. And so we can all work together to just be more positive, you know what I mean? And just less negative, less wars and all the other, you know what I mean, unnecessary stuff. You know what I'm talking
Yeah, most definitely.
about? So yeah, I really appreciate everything that you do for the community, you know what I mean? Now you've been working with children. Now I know also at your academy, do you also train adults as well? Is there an
Yes,
age
but
limit?
not okay. So yes, we have adult classes. So we'll have visual arts classes, we'll have graffiti classes, we'll have dance classes and stuff like that. And oh my God, the amount of this work, this school is so addicting. So like when you like the adult dance classes, I make sure that when adults like even ask if we have dance classes, when they're like, oh, I've never done this before in my life and this and that, I'm like, still come. You have to come, because the way that I teach and break it down, you'll feel like you've been doing this forever after one class. But two, just watching them, it's like when I say liberation, like that's the only word that comes to mind. Like it's like no matter what your background is, no matter how much trauma you're bringing into the studio, it's like an explosion. It's so powerful to watch. It's so powerful to watch. And to be a part of it, to then have them leave the studio and be like, I never thought I would be able to do that. And this just makes me question so much about how I've been thinking about myself and this and that. And I'm like, that's what I'm doing this for. So yes, we have adult classes, but we don't technically have adult training, because in my head, the training is like our performance team, which it's ongoing, and they have mentors and they have, you know what I'm saying? Like, but for the most part right now, we're still trying to, like, in January, we restructured the school. So we restructured programming and everything. And we're still trying to figure out like what really, really works for this community. And we've been doing like short, like 2-session classes. And that seems to really work for parents. So we're doing that again this summer. So if they come to like multiple sessions, then yes, it's kind of ongoing training, but like, yeah. So to answer your question, like yes and no. They get the classes, they get the experience, they get the family and the village that we've set up here. But the ongoing training, like we do have internal stuff like resume building and CPR training and trauma information, a lot of stuff. So we have stuff that we offer, but yeah, to answer your question, it's yes and no.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'm glad, and it's nice that you opened up your school with the ability to be able to still be hands on with everyone, despite all the services doesn't apply for all those of an older age, but it's still nice that they get to still enter your school and still have the experience. You know what I mean? So that's really nice. Now, what I want to do is as well, I need to take a little commercial break and just, shout out the sponsors and everyone that support, what I mean, Isaidit Management, IsaiditTV.com. But during this commercial break, we're going to be coming right back, to ask you a lot more great questions, you know what I mean? And just to get a little bit more knowledge about BCAI school. So if I may, we're going to take a couple of minutes and please share this video wherever you all are watching from. And we're going to be right back with Miss Angelique Rački. .org. You know what I mean? That's her website, young lady out here. Okay. Sorry, I was over here talking to Instagram. We were having a passionate conversation with Instagram about support.
Got it.
Okay, so let me yell out some of my sponsors. So first sponsor I want to yell out is actually a shirt that I'm wearing today from my good friend Phil Cantone. Sent me, his new supply of shirts. And that's actually streetscienceradio.com. You definitely want to go and visit that. You know what I mean? He's a radio station out there in Bloomington, Illinois. Years and years of experience and actually been helping a lot of artists to be able to also receive money compensation without even having to perform with a program that he set up. So you definitely want to check that out. I want to also shout out our friend Lenice Alex Spa, and she has a spa in Plainfield, Illinois. So Angelique, if you ever in Plainfield, Illinois, you want to get all pampered up, you need to go holler at my girl, Lenice Alex Spa. Then also I want to shout out Andy the Barber Doll, and she's actually a beauty influencer right here in Chicago. And she's been helping a lot of people with their self-esteem, and she works with all ages, men and women. Shout out to Dolores Green, and she actually is over Hair Boss Biz, hairbossbiz.com. And you definitely want to check her out. She's with the AC Green hair movement, just helping people in the community to be able to still be able to get paid off of, all these products that, is offered over the years to help women beautify themselves. You know what I'm talking about? So also, I want to also yell out a couple of my media supporters and partners. So that would be Life and Entertainment, Gina Hills. You go to lifeandentertainment.com. She's with the XOD network. She reaches a whole lot of people. She does a lot of great interviews herself on her platform. So I just want to shout her out real quick and just show some love. Also, Just Me magazine. It might be some faces that you all are very familiar with. Shout out to the one in the corner in the top, Tony Terry, the legendary singer who was actually featured on this show. But you all just go to justmemagazine.com and make sure you support my friend Elise Boswell. And then also, let me shout out my friend Heather Claw. And if you have not done your taxes, then you're not going to receive that $1,400 stimulus check. You know what I mean? And so shout out to Heather. She's doing really big things with diversified solutions. And you definitely want to check her out. And there's her information right there. And she can help you anywhere in the United States.
She's good.
Also, yeah, she's really good. Also, shout out to everyone that's actually in the background of all of my shows, which is the backdrop, our custom backdrop that we did. So I appreciate everyone support. Let me take this down so you can see the whole backdrop. Because I understand that, sometimes when I do the show, some of you all's logos are covered up, of course, not purposely, but I want to just make sure I always show this flyer to make sure that everyone is seeing, who all participated, who all shows the support. I appreciate you. Also, last but not least, I want to shout out Lenny B. And she's actually an author, and she's written a great book that I'll be speaking more about in the upcoming future. We're going to schedule an interview with her actually, but you'll know more about Lenny B. So shout out to Linda. Peace, Queen. And then I just want to shout out two women that I'm very proud of. They was actually just on Oprah, Angelique. These two young ladies right here, and the one with the green hair wrap, that's Miss Sister Africa, the legendary Sister Africa. And then beside her is the famous Inglewood Barbie. And they're both humanitarians, do a lot of work here in Chicago, and throughout the nation. And actually, they was just actually on Oprah on a new show that she has. So you'll see more information about that, about women, Black women in business. They were featured for a special sitcom. And actually, Sister Africa was just honored. She was actually the 9th honoree under Tribute to Women with this Isaidit management. So I'm very grateful of that opportunity too. So yeah, so I just want to definitely, welcome you all back again. Thank you all again for all my sponsors, media partners. Ooh, I'm missing Urban Grand TV. Can't forget about them. They helping us stream right now. You know what I mean? So make sure you all go to urbangrandtv.com. And these are some of their services that they offer as well. And they've been on business for 21 years, and they're actually a 20-time award-winning TV and radio show. That is awesome. Like how you win 20 out of 21 years. That's incredible. That's greatness right there. So yes, I appreciate their support. So I definitely want to welcome you all back again. This celebrity interviewer, I said it, and this is the show. And I'm here live with founder and the executive director of BCAI, Cultural Arts and Humanities. Is that how you say that? Humanities? Mm-hmm. Okay, I was afraid. I'm not really familiar. So, all right. So we're just gonna get right to it. I keep 100. So we're just gonna get right into this interview with Angelique, because there's so much more to learn about your academy that you started. Now, how many people do you have part of your staff, and can you just shout out some of your team?
Ooh, I was literally just thinking about that. So we have a board of directors. We have 4 people on our board of directors. Phenomenal people. We have Sarah Almaraz, who has been with us for 5 years next month. 5 years next month, has been on the board for like at least 4 of that. She has her 3 children, and then the youngest is actually our shared child. So Sol is our shared child. He is going to be 4 next month, but she is also, so she'll teach Latin dance here, but she has her own organization called the We Two Alliance, which is, there's a whole thing to talk about with that. It's basically the network around survivors of childhood sexual assault and sexual assault in general. So the survivors and thrivers, the network around it. So like educators and family, other professionals like dentists even, because if you're not trauma informed, if you don't understand that your patient may have experienced maybe a rape, then they're not going to want to be helpless in a chair underneath a man. You know what I'm saying? So, so knowing these type of things, so having like a We Two Alliance where these professionals and educators and stuff are completely involved in the community in this area, and they're informed in this area, that they will then eventually, the end goal is to have like that certification that says this place is safe for survivors to go to, so that survivors don't have to work so hard to find some place that works. So that's what she's been working on. It's a really phenomenal. It's so much big work. So Sarah Almaraz, it's a very important name. Barbara Little, she is here. She's at State Farm. She's one of the big leagues at State Farm. She's phenomenal. She's in the development area. And Sarah is the director of advocacy here. And Barbara is director of organizational development, along with Matt Coates, who is also working on development. And he is also a Project Oz youth representative in the high school. So he counsels youth in the high schools and is just there for them as mentorship. And then Haven Ryburn is the local. So if you've ever been here, you know that there's a coffee house here called Coffee Hound, and they are constantly involved in all social justice things, movements, needs, anything that we need, period. They're always active in all of it. And they are very, very, very conscious in the way that they do business. So not necessarily just with their employees and stuff, but with the farmers that they work with for the coffee. They make sure that they've built that relationship, and they are paying these farmers what they deserve, versus a Starbucks who is not. They're giving them the bare minimum of what's expected for the quality that they give. So that's extremely important to know. But she is the lead over all of those cafes here, and she has been on our board for, has it been a year and a half, maybe, I think. That sounds about right. And she is the creative director over visual arts. And then Angelica Taylor is our head coach, and she's everything. She's everything. So it has proven pretty difficult to find beings in this town that are as passionate and understanding of what these kids need. And so when I got her, we take really good care of her, but it's almost like she doesn't need that. She doesn't need all that extra attention. Like, she does it for the right reasons, and she sees them and she understands them. And so Angelica Taylor is everything, and she's going to be going for her, is it PhD? Master's? Is it master's or PhD? I think it's a PhD at U of I this fall in education. So she's amazing. Yeah, you can see all of these people on our website, and there's a lot of others that are currently involved. We have a graphic design team that's phenomenal. Sampit, Martin, and we have just a lot of team members. And then Terrence, of course, is working on our development as well. So there's a lot of team members. There's just, but there's like this core full-time group that is involved in all of it. And there are other like coaches and such that are able to come part-time, but Angelica is the full-time coach that is always there for them and does over-the-top mentorship. Yeah, so I have a really, really good team, and it's growing. So I'm really, really excited about that, because the more team members we have, the more that everyone can actually be in their genius instead of doing all the things. So.
Hey, y'all are deep over there, ain't y'all? Y'all got a whole squad. But hey, I tell you this, having powerful people in your team and people to be able that you can trust to handle certain responsibilities, to help make your job easier, to help you to continue to just make this whole project and mission bigger, this academy, that's what you need, that's what it's going to do. That's what I'm in the process of doing personally, like just building a strong team and structure around, asset and management to help relieve me of some of my duties, so that's awesome. Now tell me this, Angelique. Now, I know that BCAI, you speak about what that stands for, because breaking chains, advance, and increase, that's really powerful. And it means something to me, but what does it mean to you?
So it's really funny, because I've had multiple people be like, that advance and increase is the same thing, right? I'm like, it's definitely not. So breaking chains, advancing, increase, it tells you point blank that this school is not about the actual arts. It's like the focus isn't on the art form that we're training in. It's actually on what is going to come from that. So and I will keep using this word, this liberated training that we give, that with the space that we give, allows you to access parts of yourself, and the parts of you that no longer serve you. Let's break those off. Let's break some of these destructive cycles that have been passed down to you or that are surrounding you and suffocating you. Let's break some of these and break some of your alliances to them, or your feelings of alliance to them. Like I have to do this for these people, or like just these toxic negative, like these horrible cycles that we've got going on in the world, in our society and community. And then in that, once you start shedding some of this stuff and like purifying and like getting some of this stuff out to where it no longer is affecting you as much, all of a sudden these manifestation things that you've been wanting, or like these paths that you've been wanting to go down, they seem that much easier. And so it advances, like it pushes the increase, like it allows it to keep going. So this is backwards. So it allows it to go easier. So let's break some of the destructive cycles and allow this, let's allow you to breathe and be in your authenticity and see where you go with that. Because once you feel safe enough to do that, all of a sudden you start increasing in ways that you didn't even think about. So that's really what it means, is let's focus on the actual objective. I'm not necessarily interested in if you can draw a straight line, or you can do a two-step or a windmill. Like I'm more interested in, are you stronger today than you were last week? Do you feel better about yourself this week than you did last week? Do you feel less obligated to rescue people today? Do you feel less toxic today? Do you feel like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm more interested in what comes from this than the art itself, because that follows. That's going to automatically, if you're doing something that you love to do and you're already good at it, like it's going to increase as you go anyways. So I'm not necessarily interested in that. It's let's use this platform and this art that you love as the catalyst to getting you to your next level. That's what breaking chains, advancing increases.
Okay, I like that, and I love what it stands for and how you came up with that. Very, very neat. And again, just shout out to everything that you've been doing and building. I have a lot of pictures actually on deck. I've been lazy. I haven't showed like any pictures other than the I am, but I did upload several pictures. So first, I'm gonna show, because this was a parent album cover. So can you speak a little bit about?
Oh, no. Okay, so so we have a program that's my brainchild, is my everything. It's just my thing. So Hip Hop Elemental Arts is a program that I developed. And it's a 5 or 6 week session, depending on the session. And it breaks down the 9 elements and sub elements of hip hop, depending on the session. And so this one is from the most recent one that we just had in February, March. And that one was the elements of DJ, MC, knowledge, of course, entrepreneurialism, and language. And these pictures make me smile so much. I love them so much. So these 4 were in the last session, and there was 8 in that session. And these 4, they just like gravitated to each other. Well, 3 of them were already, so 2 are siblings, 1 is their cousin, and then the other one, they just all gravitated together. And they just were posing one day, and I'm like, I can make an album cover over how you're posing right now. And so I did it. And this was the first one that you're showing right now. And the white background was the second one that we did. And so if they were to like ever like come up with an album, like that's what they could use. It was just so dope. And like, this one specifically shows every single one of their personalities to a T. Yeah. I love it so much. So yeah, these are the 4 from that. And they're all on the track. Of course, they're all on the track. All 8 artists are on that track. So yeah, that last session, they created their track from beginning to end. So like they made the instrumental, they wrote the lyrics. The prompt that they got was, to like basically, so the day that we had them start writing, we just had them start writing. We didn't even ask them to start rhyming yet, or creating actual lyrics. Just write, like, what messages would you have? What do you want to tell adults and teachers and parents? What do you wish they knew about you? What do you wish you could tell them? Like, what are times, think about times where you felt like disrespected or unheard or misunderstood, or just things that bother you that adults do. What are some things that really, really bother you, like in classes or at home or anything like that? So write about that. And then, because BCAI never does anything basic, and we're never going to do anything without a purpose. So we teach them to do their art form with a purpose as well. So what message do you want to put out there? Like, what do you want to change with these lyrics? And so, when you listen to the track, it's really good. It's really, really deep. If you really sit and listen to it, so you can make the decision to listen and be like, oh, some kids wrote some lyrics, or you can actually listen to it and realize how deep this goes, because a lot of them, all of them actually, all 8 of them have had really bad experiences in the school system, in life in general, about being misunderstood, and not really having a space that's theirs, and being talked down to, and all the things. So if you really listen to these lyrics, you'll really get a lot out of it. So that's the explanation for that. Black Flag is that's their thing.
Okay. I love it. And how can people hear that music? How can they find
it's everywhere. It is everywhere. So I'm going to give you 2 completely different options, because you can go on Bandcamp. And well, first it's streaming everywhere. Literally. You can search BCAI-CAH, just like it is in my label right here. BCAI-CAH, Get Right, GET Right. Get Right is the name of the song. BCAI-CAH is the artist name. And then you can find it anywhere. Spotify, YouTube, iTunes, everywhere. That is the cover art for it, so you can recognize it when it comes up. And if you go to Bandcamp though, so if you go to bcai-cah.bandcamp.com, you'll see this track and you can actually download it. And when you download it, you get to decide how much you want to pay for it. So it can be $1, or it can be like, the minimum is $1, but the donation, so you can say you give $20, whatever we get after revenue share, which is, so out of 20, we'll probably get like $14, $15 out of that. That money goes directly back into the Hip Hop Elemental Arts program. So session 3, that starts on Tuesday. They'll be making the music video from scratch. So they're learning the entire music video industry and the process from scratch for the Get Right song. So that's what they'll be doing for the next 5 weeks, starting on Tuesday. And so that money will go to that program to help with every single thing that they'll need to make it as good as possible for them. So so I would prefer, like, Bandcamp is definitely a go-to, but it is streaming everywhere.
That is awesome. I love everything you're doing, and congratulations on, is this, if I'm not mistaken, is this the first song that you've done under your company?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Definitely. It definitely won't be the last, but it's definitely the first. We had a phenomenal group of artists, MCs that came in and worked with them throughout the entire 6 weeks that they were here. So Darius Williams, who just put out a brand new album called Left Alone, that just came out this past weekend. And so he was there the entire program, because he's here in Bloomington. He's from Chicago though. So Darius Williams, and then D-Sun. So Daniel Moore out of Chicago has an organization called Stay Relentless Life and Hip Hop Initiative. He is a very strong partner with us in this program. So we piloted our partnership last session, and in this session it's like a full-blown partnership. So he's going to be here in town with his team for half the program. So they'll be working really, really close. The kids absolutely love them, as they should. And then 7-6 Supa, also out of Chicago. is such a phenomenal artist, such a great MC, great artist. He came to work with them. He's on the track. He's on verse 2. D-Sun's on 3. Darius is on 1. And then there were, so Tapawalo out of Peoria. Oh my God, one of the greatest artists ever. Makes such delicious music for the soul. He helped on the program. Yeah, there were multiple artists that contributed, and it was just the kids just like soaked it up. Like that's what they need. They need professionals to care enough to come spend some hours with them authentically and genuinely, like they matter. Instead of thinking someone else is gonna do it. Like that's my message for today. We need more mentors. Like not just BCAI. There's a call out everywhere for everyone that is a youth advocate. We need more mentors that get it. People that have been through shit so that they can actually work with youth that are going through shit. You know what I'm saying? They need that. They need people to understand them and see them in all of their brilliance. So that's my call out for the day. Tangent. So we have a lot of phenomenal artists, but those are the 3 that are on the track. And then Kendall Miles, who's also here, she helped the girls with the chorus. So the hook. Yeah. So I'm like, it's a really good track. It's really good. Yeah. Go get it.
Well, that's nice. And again, remind everyone, if they were just checking in, this is what you was just referring to. One of the tracks as well. Make sure you all go and get that track. You can find on all platforms. But yeah, you know what I mean? Just everything you're doing, you know, just mind blowing and just really incredible. And I just really love everything. Now, when it comes to the elements of hip hop, why was it important for you to teach children and pass down the information and the power and the maturity of, you know what I mean, being able to accomplish, you know, I don't know, the 9 elements of hip hop?
Okay.
You can answer that any way you want because that was a messed up question.
No, but I have 1,000 answers, and I told you I could talk about this for hours. So this is your fault of what's about to happen. I have no idea how long this answer is going to last. So it's extremely important to me. So for years now, our hip hop program, when we do breaking, when we do graffiti, when we do even hip hop dance class, like it's very, very necessary. And I feel like a mandatory responsibility to not just have you come in and learn some dance moves and call it hip hop and you go home. Like, yes, there's like a mental recognition of when you say hip hop dance of what that entails and everything, and that's what you come for. However, I feel a very strong responsibility to the culture itself, to the ancestors, to everyone that set this up for every generation to come after them. This brilliant, this entity, this brilliant thing, this existence. Like I feel like a responsibility to that, to make sure that these students are learning more than just this thing exists. So do you know the elements? Do you know like where the transition, the transition started of when hip hop actually started becoming a thing, you know what I'm saying? Like from it's, oh my God, there's so many words that I'm not finding right now, but like hip hop has been here since we've been here. Like there's a quote from Siddiqui Bakari, is such a brilliant quote. So I'm going to pull it up because I don't want to. So Siddiqui Bakari said, hip hop is ancient, antique, expansive. It's more than elements. It's the manifestation of energy. Hip hop has been here since we've been here. So yes, I feel like a strong responsibility to that you not only know like the elements and what this entails, because that's no different from learning some things on a test and memorizing. It's not about memorizing it. It's about knowing all of these different things, these elements that make up this thing that you love so much. so that you can then find your place in it and you can find an identity within it, because that is what's so important. Once you figure out your authentic identity, one, nobody can I cuss on here? Nobody can fuck with you.
That's it.
Like once you get to that point, nobody, like, fewer people are able to fuck with you. They're less likely to be able to fuck with your energy, with your ambition. Once you start tapping into that and finding your place within this thing that you love so much, there's like a sense of like protection in that. You get the protection of everyone that came before you and all of the energy that they left here for you. And then you're enveloped in it. And then all of a sudden you get to follow these passions that you have. And so it's deeper than just memorizing things. It's like, let me teach you about these people that came before you. Let me teach you about griots and like what these, you know what I'm saying? Because the hip hop, it didn't just start in the late 60s, early 70s. Like this is something that it's been around forever. It's just in the late 60s, well, actually in the 70s is when they condensed it into this cultural name of hip hop. You know what I'm saying? And before that, it was just an understood cultural like thing. It was just an understood thing. Like what's understood doesn't need to be explained kind of thing. And so then in the 70s, it became this understood thing, and that was then explained. So this has been around forever. So letting them connect to that lineage, that legacy, because that's what it is. It's a whole legacy. And then to find yourself in that's where it's powerful. It's so powerful. So that's why I do this. And so in every single class, we would stretch out in different languages. We would, I just want to get the fifth element of hip hop is knowledge. And so I break that down to them as hip hop expects you to learn about yourself, about the world, and about your community. So do you know the opportunities in your community? Do you know where you feel safe in your community? Do you know the different ethnicities in your community? Do you know, and then about yourself, do you know what pisses you off? Do you know what your limits are? Do you know what brings you joy? Do you know where your passions are? Would you know any authentic pieces of you, or have they all been stripped from you from outside sources? So like yourself, and then the world. How many other countries do you know actually? Do you know any other languages? Do you know how to communicate with someone from a different culture or country? This is all extremely important in navigating the world, and extremely important for them. So yeah, it's more than just coming in here and learning some dance moves. It's extremely important and relevant and mandatory. And that's why I get so fed up and frustrated and disgusted with some of these like these schools that are appropriating the entire thing. Let's look at some bodies in the door, and the only way we can do that, or let's get some diversity in the doors. Oh, let's have a hip hop class, and then you actually see their hip hop, and it's like jazz. That's not hip hop. First of all, none of what you just did was hip hop. There was no breaking, there was no popping, there was nothing in the category of hip hop dance, and there's a lot of genres in hip hop dance. So it's disgusting. It like makes my stomach churn. Because they know nothing about the culture. They just know that hip hop dance will bring people in the door. And it hasn't worked. You wanna know why? Because real people, you know what I'm saying? Real eyes, real lies, you know what I'm saying? So they're not going to come to your all white establishment when everything on social media is all these little white kids, and none of your posts say anything about anti-racism. Nothing says anything about social justice. So no, they're not going to feel so comfortable in your space. First of all, I'm going to ask a different question. Because I can do it forever.
No, I love this. I love it. And I love your sincerity and your passion for, you know what I mean, again, the culture of hip hop, you know what I mean, us melanated, more melanated individuals, and, you know, just everything that you've embraced in your life, that, you know what I mean, just continue to stand for things of positivity. Now, these are some of your flyers that I have on hand. Well, first, before I get to the flyers, I want to show this, and I just want to again say thank you for allowing me to participate with your
Yes.
survey that you were had conducted earlier, just a couple of months ago, right?
Yes.
So speak a little bit about what it is that you that I participated in.
So I actually, so I'm looking over here because I have all these whiteboards. We did like a 4-hour work session on how to like effectively not just get the marketing done for Get Right and getting it out there and getting it downloaded as many times as possible and this and that, but how we can promote for Hip Hop Elemental Arts Session 3, start getting some sponsors for that, because, and it's not just that, it's deeper because as I've mentioned, this community has a lot of work to do. In the last couple of years, we've made a lot of progress, but it's still scratching the surface. There's so much work to be done. And the significant amount of the population, when you mention hip hop, they shut down because it's something that they don't understand. They know nothing about. They haven't even tried to learn the language. And so, of course, they're going to like shut down because it challenges their reality and this identity bubble that they have. And I don't want anything to do with that, but I do have every responsibility to do everything in my power with my platform, our platform, to then make social change in every single possible way. So one of the things that we decided on, because it's not just about promoting these things, it's bigger than that. How can it's bigger? It's a cultural conversation. Because hip hop is predominantly, I mean, because you get in the conversation with like Puerto Ricans and Cubans and like the Latino influence on hip hop, and how they were there for the foundations and such. But this is a predominantly Black culture. And so it is very apparent that if you are not willing to listen to hip hop or understand it, you are the same people. And this is not a blanket it might be a blanket statement because every single time this has been proven in my experience. Those who are not willing to talk about hip hop or acknowledge hip hop, or they want people to shut it off, or they can't stand it when it's out loud in the neighborhood or whatever. These are the same exact people that are not willing to have any conversations about race. These are the white fragility people. These are the people that, and it's very, very obvious that this is a Black issue for you, not a hip hop issue for you. It's not a music issue for you, because if you were to listen, you would hear the instruments, you would hear all your complaints about hip hop. You would actually see you have nothing to complain about. So it's not the music. It's a Black thing for them. And that's very, very obvious. And so we have work to do in that, because this hip hop is a very beautiful catalyst for social change. And because there's so many identities enveloped in it, there's so many opportunities enveloped in it. So I add that first question was very, very important. So we put out this survey to a lot of educators and people in the media, such as yourself, mentors, artists, and I wanted to get all of these answers. So one of the questions was about what is the significance of hip hop and social justice, and and then there's 4 other questions that we asked, because we're also trying to get people to see the value in a place like BCAI. And it's starting to lock in on people, but it's taken us a long time to get there because BCAI is so vastly different from everything that they're used to. So.
Okay. Very, very, very good. Very good. I love, again, just acknowledge how your school covers so many different things, and from the arts to just everything hands-on. Do you all conduct interviews as well?
What do you mean by conduct interviews? Like this?
Host interviews, like what I'm doing. Yeah.
Not yet. It's been in my vision for years. I just don't have a full enough team to be able to effectively make that happen sustainably. But okay. It's there. It's like there. I'm like been wanting to do it, like a blog that allows the students to put out like articles and thoughts and opinions, and allow people to then conversate and then put out like interviews and stuff. Like that would be really, really dope. And we're not completely there yet.
Well, no worries. You know, we gonna speak about that off camera, and I'll give you some some things that maybe you can get that in action. You know what I mean, ASAP. Now, here's another one of your flyers as well. Now I know this obviously just recently happened. Where it comes to it says tryouts started May 6th. Now is tryouts still active?
They just finished yesterday.
Oh, okay. They late.
Yep, they just finished yesterday. It's really, so we use the entire month of May as like a tryout thing, and so they were able to. And it's funny because the two girls that came in to try out for the month of May, they had already previously been at BCAI. They were actually part of the second generation performance team. We're on generation like 5 now, so they were actually already part of our dance program a long time ago, like 2015, and then they left to do other things, and then they asked to come back, and I was like, yes, can we please have you back? Because these girls are everything, and it's like we had set workshops for them, and then in the middle of these workshops, we had to then throw them into a last-minute music video shoot. Because we had to get a music video ready for Juneteenth. So the Bloomington Normal Black History Project had a Juneteenth event planned, and they decided to do it all virtually. And so we then had to create, and our students really want to perform live, so we're still waiting to find a place for them to perform live. But so in order to do that, we had to create the music video so that they could then show it on Juneteenth. And so we had to throw them into this last minute thing. So they got like an ultimate like BCAI experience, because we do stuff last minute sometimes. And our performance team is expected to then act professionally, figure out what's necessary. How do we, you know what I'm saying? And they all do, they have a voice in the things that we do. So this isn't like a dictatorship. Like they definitely have a say. There's a lot of autonomy that we give them. But this is something that we needed to do, because they knew that they wanted to get this out. And so we got our videographer out of East St. Louis. His name is Kendrick Chambers. He goes by K, and his business is Delights on Productions. And he is phenomenal. He did such an amazing job. He was so professional. Like his ability to balance authority with making sure that they, like, the visions were authentic. So like all the visions that were given to him from the students that choreographed it, the coach, myself, he took all of that, and then he knew exactly when to ask the right questions. He was just really professional through the whole thing. So he's actually gonna be our videographer also for the hip hop elemental arts session. So that was, yeah. So yeah, we threw them into the fire for tryouts. So yeah, they're definitely on the team.
Okay, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Now I know you have a really big event actually going on tomorrow in reference to Defend in Palestine rally. You know, we noticed it's been a lot of terrible things going on around the world, which has never stopped. But you know, we have it so good here in America sometimes. I say sometimes, specifically, but you know, Palestinians is going through, you know, some a lot of, you know, going through a lot right now. Can you speak about your event tomorrow?
Yeah. So it's not necessarily a BCAI event. We are just we co-sponsored. We're helping with our network and resources to help the students that are putting it on. And so because representation is very, very important. And I have a very, very close friend that is Palestinian, that this has seriously been affecting her. And so the last couple of weeks have been rough and emotional. And when love is authentic and genuine, like you do what you can for in the capacity that you have. And so in that, I did everything in my power to find some way to get this community up. You know what I'm saying? Like, how can we like get some uprising going on? Like, how can we get a vigil going to make sure that her family felt safe and loved in this moment? Because she has 4 children, 4, I think it's 4. And like, how can they feel more safe in this community and more heard and more seen? Because that's extremely important. With this skin has been the default for so long that like that can't keep going, right? So how can we how can we use our platforms to then like amplify these voices and make sure that that's like what's being said is being said and needs to be said. And so there's a few ISU students from the Muslim Student Association, and they were the driving forces. And then the DSA, Democratic Socialists of America, I want to say that's what it stands for. They were backing them up. And then through that rally, we met more people that are interested. And so we started a group chat, and we've been planning another one so that we can keep momentum going, because just like with Black Lives Matter, like it has to be ongoing, or people just drop what they're doing and go back to their comfortable lives. And we can't let that happen. This is too much. Like it's not okay that we are paying for this. We're paying for that, for this to happen for however many decades. Like it's what, 70 some 8 decades? Like what? We've been paying for it. And once you realize that, like, how can you go back to your regular life without doing anything? And so, so the rally is this Saturday, 4:00, History Museum, downtown Bloomington. The last one was in Uptown Normal. This one's in downtown Bloomington. Yeah. It's like a really good group of people, phenomenal beings. We'll have, I think there's 2 professors, and then there's 1 other being that's going to be there. So they'll be giving like the breakdown of what's going on, the educational, they'll be answering questions. Of course, we'll be doing very loud chanting, and then we will doing personal stories, people getting on the mic to make sure people are fully aware that this is real. This is like real humans are experiencing this, and it's not just in another country. Like this is their experience. And so that, and then more chanting and a vigil. The vigil is extremely important. So we last time we took 8 minutes, 1 minute per decade of occupation, and really concentrating our energy on ending the occupation and in loving those who have lost their family, and then also in covering and protection for the souls that were abruptly forced to transition out of this lifetime. So yeah, very, very important.
Yes, that is a very, very important cause, you know what I mean? Because we definitely need to stop the violence, you know, not just here in the Chicagoland, Illinois area, but you know, all around the world, you know what I mean, in all cultures, and just become more one and just have love for everyone, you know what I mean? Just not hate or be jealous, or you know what I mean? That's what this platform is all about, you know, just continue to spread love and celebrate those that are you know, again, making an impact in the community along with the entertainment industry like yourself. So again, I just want to thank you for all that you continue to do. I know you also have a website, BCAIarts.org. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, and yeah, so I encourage everyone to definitely go to your website. They can find out more about everything that we discussed today, along with you know everything that you have coming up in the future and everything that you're doing presently. Again, I'm so proud of you, Angelique. You know what I mean? Just keep up the great work. I look forward to networking with you more. Like I say, I'll give you a little couple of you know what I mean, jewels I'm gonna share with you in reference to this interviewing so you can get started yourself, because I think that you have the perfect platform for something like that. And the first one person that I would like to send you to be interviewed once you start this is actually my brand ambassador. So let me shout out my brand ambassador, LJ Wicks. And she's actually the first Dutch female MC in hip hop, the first Asian female MC in hip hop, the first lady of ultramagnetic MCs, and out of the Bronx. And to be honest as well, LJ, this woman right here, who's located in the Netherlands, Holland area, Western Europe, she's actually started rapping in 1982. You know what I mean? That was so special to me. You know what I mean? A woman that's been rapping for that long who has not gotten the proper acknowledgement, you know what I mean, here in hip hop. So that's why, I took the liberty of being able to make her my brand ambassador because I wanted to show people, to give her flowers. Like, you know what I'm saying? She's been around since 1982. Get this woman her flowers. You know what I'm saying? So I wanted to highlight her. She shows me so much support and love. I've actually interviewed her here on the show. So, I would love to connect you too. I think you all will get along very well, and for everything that you stand for, and for the history that she helped create in hip hop. You know what I mean? You all will have, I think, can accomplish some really great things.
That's exciting. Oh yeah, definitely. That sounds great.
Yeah, thank you. And we actually have our first comment of the day, and I appreciate it from the T on me with Lindora, and she says, "I'm enjoying the show." I appreciate you, Queen. Thank you for tuning in. We really appreciate you. And I shared her logo actually earlier, and it's called Lily B. I want to bring it up one more time.
Mm-hmm.
This is actually her logo, so I appreciate you, Linda. So yeah, Angelique, you know what I mean? Again, just notice you have my support right here at IsaiditTV.com all day. I said it management. Just continue to to reach out. We're gonna definitely be in touch. Because I would like to, volunteer more and just to be a helping hand to some of your programs with the children. Well, I don't have any children of my own that I've made in this world, so I feel the responsibility as a grown man to just, sometimes just give back, some of my knowledge, wisdom, and donate some of my experience to some of these young men, white or black, Asian or Hispanic, no matter what their cultural background is, just help them to get through their day and some of the troubles, because we all go through the same thing, growing up, just different levels, of experience. But, at the end of the day, we can all relate to each other if we just communicate more. It's something that you've created with your powerful company. And I'm just, grateful that you've been in business for 9 years. Just look forward to, you just continue to grow globally, because this needs to be heard, everything that you said. And I look forward to, just everything for real.
Well, if you're up for it, the students, thank you. The students are, that the participants that are on the track could use a lot more exposure. So if you are willing to do an interview with them, they would love that.
Yeah, we need to get some kids on this platform. I haven't interviewed no children. Maybe, your children and your school can be some of the first. And just, let's start interviewing some of these kids. They have a lot to say.
Yes, they do. They have a lot to say, especially if you ask the right questions.
Right. Definitely. So yeah, so if there's anything that you would like to share in conclusion to the interview that you would like maybe for people to know, or just as a buffer.
I mean, there's a million things. Right now, I'm interested in my network. So I'm interested in our network. We're interested in getting more opportunities for our students to go other places to either train, to learn, and to experience. So if you're willing to do some type of like what are they called? Exchange, like a cultural exchange or a talent exchange, anything along those lines. We are completely down for that. And I would really, really appreciate anyone reaching out for that. It could be literally any art. So our definition of art is anything that requires the imagination to get to the next level. So that goes into biology, it goes into entrepreneurialism and coding. And so it's not just painting and dance. Like, this is everything. Social justice is like activism is an art. So motherhood is an art. So yeah, so anything that requires the imagination. So anything, any life skill, any like culinary. Like I would love for like our performance team to get to just go somewhere, make some food and smash. Like that would be amazing. Like learn different, like more healthier alternatives to certain things that they love. Literally anything. Any type of cultural exchange is amazing. Like we really wanted to go to the Hiplay, the academy up there that in Chicago that does the Hiplay. That would be really dope. We've been talking about that for a few years. So there's that. But yeah, cultural exchanges are really, really awesome. Other than that, we do have a Patreon page that makes it extremely easy to support us for as little as, I think the lowest number is $5 a month, but it automatically comes out of your account. And we are very, very, yes, that. And we are very transparent about what the money will be going to. So the last year, so from, I think it was May to March, we put all of that into our scholarship fund. Now, so like April, May, and June's Patreon amounts that come in are going directly to the Hip Hop Elemental Arts program. So that we can make sure that they get, like I said, all the opportunities that we set out to get them. So Patreon is just BCAI, Cultural Arts and Humanities. You should be able to find it pretty simply. So yeah, if you could do that, that's awesome as well. I'm up for all conversations as far as this goes. If you heard anything that you connected to, let's start a conversation. Let's see where it can go. If you had any type of instinct or any type of pull to contact us, do it. Do it so that we can like, because who knows what's going to come of it. A lot of things that are beyond what we thought were possible have been happening lately. And so let's make magic, period. That's what we're here for.
Absolutely. And bravo. And again, salute to you, Angelique Rački, founder, director, the executive director of BCAI, which stands for Breaking Chains, Advancing Increase, correct?
Yeah. And it's actually Angelique Rački.
Oh, hold on. Paul, say that again.
So you see the C that you put on there on the line, the C has that V on top. It's like right, sound. So it's Angelique Rački.
Rački.
It's Croatian.
Hey, shame on you for allowing me to say your name wrong for a whole hour and 26 minutes and you didn't say nothing.
There was never a right time to stop you. Like normally I do correct. Normally I do. But I always correct when people, I was in a meeting yesterday with somebody and they were like, they kept mispronouncing one of the kids' names and it was a simple name. And so I'm like, no, we're going to stop. You're going to get it right because it's not hard. You're not going to call her A. You're not going to call her Anna. You're going to get it right because she deserves that. And so, yes, I know that I deserve that. But there wasn't a time to like respectfully say stop. So yeah, I figured it was going to come up eventually. I was going to get an in. So that was my in.
Right. So it's pronounced Rački.
Angelique Rački.
Okay. I like that. It sounds better too. It has a better ring to it than Racky.
Yep. That's the Americanized. Yep.
Well, thank you. Salute to you, Queen. And thank you again for being on the show, Angelique Rački. You know what I mean, founder and executive director of BCAI. Cultural Arts and Humanities. So that was great. You know what I mean? I really enjoyed this interview, just getting to know you more. You know what I mean? I actually learned a lot more about your company and I'm just grateful and I just look forward to continue to support what you're doing. And just know that you don't have my support as well all day long.
Thank you very, very much.
Yeah, so thank you again for taking the time today. I want to show this video one more time. Representing your business.
Yeah,
Very good.
I will definitely say, follow YouTube so that you don't miss this Juneteenth music video. You will cry. You'll cry because it's so emotionally, it's so well done and these, oh my God, these students, these beings of light, like they are epic, and like their ability to perform is just like, and to communicate messages through their bodies and their faces. It's just so powerful. Oh my God. Yeah. So yeah, the first time I saw it, I couldn't control it. I could not stop crying. I'm like, oh my God. So yeah, you'll get chills, you'll get everything. So definitely follow our YouTube. I'm trying to post to YouTube more. We do have a TikTok. We have literally every single social media. So yeah, go binge us.
Yeah, I already know. Gotta have a TikTok with all those kids around.
There's a lot of TikToks.
That's necessary. Yeah. So again, thank you so much for being on the show. Hold on, we have and she also says Linda says I support. Thank you, Linda.
That means everything. Thank you so much.
Really. So actually how I end the show, Angelique Rachi is
Rački.
Rački. Right. You see, you almost spit out your wallet trying to correct me that time. So Rački. So actually I end the show is, I have people that send in shout outs, and I welcome you to also, if you like to send in a drop or shout out anything like that towards my show, I will share it, when I do the celebrity interviews, if time allows at the end of the show. So today we do have a little time, so I like to share a few shout outs. And on the first person I want to share is the iconic living legend, Roy Ayers.
I support, I said it, support. I support, I said it, support. I said, I support it, I said, support. I support the legendary Warriors all day long. Thank you.
Yeah, that was I love that moment, you know what I mean? Shout out to Roy Ayers, you know what I mean? If you all don't know that Roy Ayers is still making music, you know what I mean, get from underneath the rock, because this man is like on his 91st album. Yes, I said like 91st album. Like, who does that? And these are all great albums. So go support that man, royayers.com. You can buy his music. This is actually the legendary living legend icon, Jazzo.
Yeah. Yo, it's the originator Jazzo, y'all. Make this real quick, man. Shout out to Isaidit Management. Doing it big.
Appreciate you. Yo, make sure you all go support Jazzo, the living legend, man. If it wasn't for him, we may not know the name Jay-Z. And it's simple as that. Shout out.
Hey man, what's happening? It's your boy Skrilla, man. Shout out to Isaidit, the celebrity interviewer. You dig what I'm talking about, man. Sponsored by the famous Chicago Bridge magazine. Get in tune with it. You dig?
Shout out to International Skrilla. You know what I mean? He's a famous artist. He's in the Dominican Republic, originally from Chicago. But you know what I mean? He's making music all over the world. He's viral right now. And he's just really making moves with his company. So make sure y'all support Blue Smoke Entertainment.
Yo, what's good? This your boy Who Knows. Letting you know this Wednesday, December 16th, tune in. I'll be with the celebrity interviewer Isaidit the Poet for the Isaidit Show, sponsored by the famous Chicago Bridge magazine. Yo, 2020 been a hectic year for everybody. I've been blessed to still reach a few accomplishments, get a little bit of acknowledgement, and we're going into 2021 hungry and heavy. And we're going to discuss all that Wednesday, December 16th on the Isaidit Show. HFE, baby, who working like us.
That's right. Shout out to the homie Who Knows, you know what I mean, out there in Harvey World. Stand up.
Hey, yo, what up? This is Dead Wilder, music exec, music manager, entrepreneur. Shout out to the celebrity interviewer. Isaidit the Show, sponsored by the famous Chicago Bridge magazine. All right, prosper.
Shout out to the brother, Executive Dead Wilder. He's actually the co-founder of, hold on, you just said Supreme Burger and Supreme Fish. and that's located in Atlanta. And they just opened up a new location, Supreme Burger in Mexico. So shout out to them. That's really dope. Congratulations.
What's happening? This your boy Cam Jones, man. Shout out to the Celebrity Interviewer I Said It show, sponsored by the world famous Chicago Bridge magazine. Y'all tap in. Dope content, dope interviews, and you might even see me on that song.
Indeed, indeed. Shout out to the brother Cam Jones, who him and his cousin Phelps Jones, Angelique, they just made a first TV debut with their both an interview and their video being shown on TV One on the show Unsung, because their mom, the famous and legendary Shirley Jones, was featured on Unsung just a couple of days ago, and she finally was able to tell her life story about her and her sisters, the Jones Girls. If you're familiar with that classic song, Nights Over Egypt, you know what I mean? That was his mom. So if you're not familiar with that song, you got to look that up, Angelique. It's called Nights Over Egypt. It's
Yes,
a classic. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and actually, this is his album cover that's out right now. So make sure you all go support the heirs of royalty, Jones and Keyshawn. Shout out to Cam Jones and Phelps Jones. So also, I want to share this brother right here.
What up, it's your boy Dave Tolliver from the legendary Minute Large, and right now you're checking out the Celebrity Interviewer I Said It, the show, baby. Yeah, it's all being brought to you by Chicago Bridge magazine. Yeah.
Shout out to Mr. Dave Tolliver, the living legend. You know what I mean? He's has some great music out right now. So make sure you all go support Dave Tolliver, the other half of Men at Large, and my condolences to Jason, who recently just passed last year due to COVID, unfortunately, the other member of Men at Large.
Hey love, it's Shy Love giving a Shy Love salute to the Celebrity Interviewer I Said It, the show, sponsored by the famous Chicago Bridge magazine. Keep doing y'all thing. It's all love and Shy Love. Hugs.
Appreciate you. That shout out to Melanie Hogan, and she's the founder of Shy Love LLC, and she's just a humanitarian. She's out here and just helping people in the community of Inglewood, Chicago. You know what I mean? Shout out to her. Much respect. And yeah, so thank you so much, Angelique. You know what I mean? Those is my shout outs that I have today. And you know what I mean? Like I say, you're welcome to send one in if you like by messenger. But yeah, just it was really great just having you on the show today. You know, you are a very powerful, sweet individual. You know what I mean? I really have a lot of love and respect for you, and you know, you have my support all day. And I just encourage everyone out there that's listening today, just continue to share this video, because BCAI, Cultural Arts and Humanities, is something that you should know about and want to get aboard. You know what I mean? Just jump aboard, because you know she needs your support.
They need your support.
Right, they need your support. That's right. Yeah, so thank you again, and you know, just holler back. You already know how it go. This is Celebrity Interviewer I Said It show, and we were here live again with Angelique. Let's see if we can do this right. Angelique Rački, right?
Yep, Angelique Rački.
Hey, I did it. That's what I'm talking about. Hey, salute to you, Angelique. You know, you be safe out there. Keep in touch, and you already know. If anybody asks, I said it. Peace to you. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Same.
All right. Peace. Blessings. And thank you for everyone that was able to tune in today. Again, like I say, hey, all you gotta do is share this video, and much love to everyone that was able to tune in live with us today. Again, my name is Celebrity Interviewer I Said It. This was the show. Shout out to all the platforms that we were on today. Shout out to Instagram, Facebook, Urban Grind TV. You know what I mean? We everywhere. So share this video. That's all I got to say today. You already know. Support my brother, Street Science Radio. I'm wearing the shirt for a reason. All right, we gone. Peace, blessings. Oh yeah, you can catch us again live in a couple of days. I'll be doing another interview, but I'll give you um more information about that like real soon. Just check my page. Flyer be dropping soon. Peace.